All right. My name's Timmy. I'm gonna give you your show and tell on your trailer. It does have two 12-volt batteries on the front that are deep cycle batteries, since it has solar panels up on top. You got two 20-pound propane cylinders that are full, except for what we use to service the trailer. The arrow on the regulator is pointed to that one over there. We got the cylinder open on the top. It shows green inside the eye. As soon as this bottle would happen to go empty, it's going to turn red inside the eye where it's green, indicating that the bottle it's pointed to is empty and it's having to pick up from the other one. Then all you have to do is flip it over to this side, work off of this one while you're taking this one to town, have it refilled. It does have two tabs on the bottom of the bottle rack cover. It does have a quick disconnect at the top, so you don't have to take the cover off every time. On the electric jack on the front, it does have a light switch that turns the light on, the LED lights on the front, and your up and down button. But there is also a manual way that you can crank the jack up or down through the top with a manual handle. But before I actually have to crank that jack up or down, I'd check this 30-amp fuse on the side first. Check it to make sure it's good before you have to manually crank it up or down. Also has the 7-way holder on the side of the trailer, and your 7-way holder will actually hold your two chains up off the ground too. We're going to sneak around this side over here. We're going to open up the front compartment. The little S handle on the wall is for the front tongue jack. This 3/4 inch handle that East to West gives you is useless on this trailer because they don't cut the holes in the side of the trailer or the toolbox so that you can actually use the manual handle. A 3/4 inch wrench will do the same thing. I guess they expect you to carry a 3/4 inch wrench with you. It does have a 110 outlet up at the top that is GFI protected by the outlet in the bathroom. You have your park cable hookup and your satellite hookup on the outside. Your light switch on the right hand side of that turns your two LED strips on the front of the trailer on. Your battery disconnect. If you don't want your 12-volt refrigerator drawing from your battery all the time, you can turn it to the disconnect to the off position and take the key out. Also has an outside shower. It's got hot and cold running water with a quick disconnect hose that hooks to the outside shower or the port spray at the back of the trailer. The white connection right down below that is to fill the freshwater tank. The black connection is your city water connect that you can hook to with a water hose and regulator and never have to fill the tank, work right off the water pressure going to the hose. It is also solar prepped with two solar panels up on top, and you have a digital readout in the front compartment to tell you what the solar panels is putting out to the batteries. There's also a hole in the bottom of that compartment that you can bring your water line and cable lines up through so that you can leave the big door on the compartment shut. Does have the two electric switches on the front for your balancing jacks. One switch operates one jack on the front, the other switch operates the other. There is also a drain line for your freshwater tank and two air vent lines coming from the freshwater tank to vent air out as you're filling the tank. On the electric jacks on the front and back of the trailer, they do both have a rubber plug on the side over here that you can pull the rubber plug out. 5/16 socket and wrench will manually crank those jacks up or down. For any reason, they won't go on their own. Lug nuts on the trailer have been torqued at 100 foot-pounds is what's recommended on the side. The tires are aired up to pressure, which is 80 pounds on the side of the tire cold. And they do have the nitro gas in them instead of having air. The nitro gas keeps the tire from heating up and cooling down as the tire spins. Gives you better life of the tire and better performance of the vehicle pulling the trailer. Two more switches in the back that operate the balancing jacks on the back side of the trailer. You do have a hookup light for hooking up at nighttime. On your sewer dump, your sewer hose goes on just like the sewer cap does, goes on, hooks to the tabs, makes a quarter of a turn to the right. Your 3-inch valve in the front, which has got a black handle on it for your nasty water. Then there is 2 grays. The first gray handle does the bathroom sink and shower water. The second gray handle does your kitchen sink water and your outside kitchenette. .50-amp power cord for the trailer goes on, makes a quarter of a turn, tighten up the black knob. The cord's between 25 and 30 foot long. You also have a black tank flush on this corner of the trailer in the back, that while you're dumping your termination valves, you can hook a water hose and regulator to this, turn water pressure onto it. Has a little aerator on the inside that spins around, cleans more of the nasties in the inside out of your black tank only. Does have a ladder for going up and checking the roof. Check the roof every 90 days. You're going to look the lap sealer over up on top for air bubbles or cracks. You find an air bubble or crack, seal over the top of it with lap sealer by Decor. The rubber roof is the life expectancy of the trailer, if you ask me. It is also prepped for a backup camera up top. Does have a spare tire that's air ductor pressure, but it's not been torqued on. It's 80 psi on the tire pressure. You also have a port spray hose that will hook to this, that hooks to the same as your outside shower in the front compartment, and gives you cold water back here on this corner. The outside kitchenette has a light switch on the wall that turns the light above us on. It has a 110 outlet on the back corner and a USB port. Also has a TV in the outside kitchenette area. Got a pretty good picture on it. Outside grill. Gas line hooks up down here at the bottom. And also hooks to the connection underneath the trailer by the frame. To give you gas coming to it, has a T-handle on top. Lid comes up, does have side shields to cover that, and also has an automatic striker on the grill that lights the grill. Put the 2 tabs back in, put the top back down on it. We're going to disconnect the gas line underneath. We're going to let it slide back into the hole. Disconnect the gas line from the connection underneath the trailer to frame. Not too bad a picture on the TV on the outside. Does have an outside kitchen sink. Hot and cold running water to it. Also has a refrigerator on the outside. The controls for the refrigerator are in the upper right hand corner. We're going to turn the light back off and we're going to pull the lid back down. While we're here at the kitchen area, it does have 2 low water points on the trailer that are actually used for winterizing and dewinterizing of the trailer. The red side of the system is the hot side. The blue side is the cold side of the water system. Back door accesses you into the bathroom area. It does have fold out steps. While we're here too, we need to look at the frame of the trailer. There is a 3/4 inch nut sticking out of the frame that is the manual way to crank the bedroom bunk slide in or out. For any reason it won't go on its own. It does have a manual way to do it. Outside of the instant heat hot water heater. Outside of the furnace. Does already have the bug screen over it. Sucks cold air in the top, hot air out the bottom. Does have another 110 outlet on the outside of the trailer that is also protected by the GFI outlet in the bathroom. You do have the 2 outside external speakers. I'll have to show you more about them on the stereo on the inside. A little doggy latch on the side to hold the doggy underneath the canopy on front. Does have a working toolbox underneath the steps. Also has another light in the front compartment on this side over here, another 110 outlet, and the 1,000-pound Elite hitch package. We're going to go back to the front door. Going to pull the grab handle off to the side. We're going to open the door fully extended. Blue handle on the steps pulls the steps loose from the door frame. As the steps come out, there is a push button underneath each one of the legs. There's 15 to 18 holes in the legs for the adjustment of the fit. The main thing on the steps is it has to come out and it has to lay flat in the threshold. To achieve that, you push the little buttons up on the bottom, let the legs fold out to where they're hitting the ground. But it has to lay flat in the threshold for the proper fit of the door over the top of it. As we come into the trailer, it does have a working fire extinguisher. We're going to run the slide room out to give us more room. The middle slide room button takes the main slide out. The other slide room button takes the bunk room slide out. You always want to make sure there's not a car up against the slide rooms as they come out or a tree. It does have a pretty good sized closet space to the inside, and it does have a two-way light on the inside. It is motion sensor, so that when the door comes open, the light comes on. 3 good shelves inside of there, and a clothes rack at the top. Back to the monitor panel. It does have a battery button to show you the battery's fully charged. To get an accurate reading on the battery, have the 110 line unplugged. Anytime the 110 line's plugged in, it's going to show you fully charged. It overrides the battery. Freshwater button is the freshwater tank fills. It'll show 1/3, 2/3 full. Same way with your black tank, which is your toilet water. Same way with your gray tank 1, which will be your bathroom, shower, and sink water. Gray tank 2 will be your kitchen sink water and your outside kitchenette. First red button down below that turns the water pump on between the freshwater tank and the faucets. The second one turns your InstaHeat hot water heater on gas. First black button turns your interior lights in the center of the trailer on. Second one turns your awning lights on. Third one turns your accent lights above the slide rooms on. We're going to extend the awning out. Let me close this door a little bit. We're going to extend the awning out as far as we can. We're going to come back out underneath the canopy. It does have the LED lights up on the side of the trailer. And on each one of the arms there is a pinch point. What a pinch point is where you can pull down and get it down, tighten up the black knob to put the pitch of the ring coming off this corner here. Same way with the front arm, you can do the same thing with the front arm and put the pitch coming off that arm up there. Before you roll the awning back up, you have to loosen the black knob up, allows the inner arm to slide inside of itself so that it fits in the cradle on the side of the trailer. Now we'll go back to the inside. Noisy little critter, wasn't it? On your thermostat, it has a mode button down at the bottom to tell you between air conditioning or heat, fan speed, low, medium, and auto. You have your up button and your down button for your temperature wise. Hit the mode button one more time and it says off in the lower right hand corner. There is another TV in the living room area and a AM/FM stereo. On your speakers you have zones 1 and 2. Zone 1 is inside your auditorium. Zone 2 is your outside speakers. It also has a USB port and an HDMI cord. There is also a set of headphones that you can get for the unit itself that plugs in here, so if they don't want to listen to the music you're listening to. Brown vent on the bottom lets the heat come in through the brown vents. The air conditioner vents through the round vents in the ceiling. We're going to open up the freezer and refrigerator. There's 2 temperature settings in it. One up in the freezer that is cold or colder. When you want to keep your stuff in the top cold, you have to pull it back down to colder. If you put it on colder, it keeps all the cold air up in the top of the freezer. Does not let any come down into the bottom of the refrigerator. So when you get it cold enough in the top, you turn it back to cold, which will keep your stuff frozen in the top. You have a digital readout in the bottom, 1 to 5 degree settings on it, and an on and off button for the refrigerator itself. We're going to close both of the doors again. Pull the travel lock over the top of the doors. The brown vent in the cabinet lets heat come out. Does have a breaker box with your 50 amp main being in the center. They are marked on the lid exactly what the breakers are. The fuses at the top are marked from this side over here what they are. We're going to come back up to the microwave. It does have a clock button on it. Set the time on the microwave. Hit the clock button again till the 2 center eyes is flashing. The reason I set the time on the microwave is you can tell if the trailer's lost 110 power coming to it or not if it doesn't have the proper time. Light switch for the hood range and the fan. For the fan to work properly, the 2 tabs have to be lifted out on the outside vent to let the fumes out. Button on the right hand side of the stove turns your illumination lights on the knobs. We're going to lift the glass stove top 2 times up out of the way. Turn the burner to the highlight position and use the striker on the left hand side. Same way with the oven. You can turn it to where it's piled on. Hold down on the knob using the same striker on the left hand side to light the oven. Put the switch in the down position and you also have a light inside the oven so you can see what you're baking. Before you lay the glass stove top down, touch the griddle on top to make sure it's cold to the touch of the hand before you lay the tempered glass over the top of it to give you more counter space. There is 2 lights above the sink that can be turned on by hand. 2 110 outlets underneath the sink cabinets. 2 sets of keys for the trailer. 1 purple key does the front door lock and deadbolt. The other purple key does the back door lock and deadbolt. The black Bauer key does your slam locks on the 2 front compartments on the outside. And then you have a 751 key that does your outside toolbox. 2 remotes for the trailer. The little one is for the stereo. It does have zones 1 and 2 for your speakers. The bigger remote does the inside TV. All the rest of the paperwork that I found in the trailer is in the drawer in the green bag. Does have an extension for the side of the countertop. Does have the doggy bowls for the food and water in the bottom drawer. Does have the carbon monoxide LP detector. We're going to skip right past that and come into the bathroom. Kind of wish I wouldn't push the button now. Does have a light switch on the wall that turns the lights above us on. Does have your GFI outlet in the bathroom that protects all your 110 outlets in the trailer. There is a deadbolt on the door to keep the door locked from the inside so nobody can come in while you're using the bathroom. Does have a single foot flush on the right hand side of the toilet at the bottom. And then you have your glass shower doors with your shower just like you have at home with your hot water on the left side, the cold water on the right side. We're going to go into the bunk room area. Does have a light switch on the wall that turns the 2 lights right above us on. Does have USB ports at the top of the bunk. There is a place for a TV in the bunk room area that you can also hook to the park cable or satellite hookup, a 110 outlet to plug it into. On your air conditioner, you have your compressor side over here, 2 fan speeds, 2 cool speeds on this side over here with a quick cool down dump into the bunk area. Close that back off and it goes back to the vent in the ceiling. The round vents in the ceiling. Does have a fire escape window in the back of the trailer. Does have another light in the bunk area on this side over here that's turned on by hand. Pull a little tab here, allows the top bunk down. Tab pulls back up. Locks back into place. Does have 2 recliners with the pull handles on the outside edge of the arms on each one of them. We're going to come into the dining area. Kitchen table comes off the wall, goes down between the 2 benches. 2 back cushions comes over the top of the table to make a smaller bed there. The light above the table has a push button on it to turn it on and off. There is storage underneath each one of the dinette seats. The 2 lights above the couch have to be turned on by hand. 2 back cushions comes off. Goes up into the dinette area. Lift up on the bottom of the couch. It tri-folds out into a bed. As it tri-folds out into a bed, your pillows will be sliding off this side here, so it does give you the headrest that comes down that keeps the pillows from sliding out. To put it back up, you just lift the back of the bunk up, come back to the front side of it, lift up on it, slides up, slides right back down into place. The 2 cushions then will go back across the back of it to make it back into a couch. Does have the slow rising shades in the trailer. Does also have a fire escape window in behind the couch. 2 red handles lifts up, hit on the center of the window in the center. Window opens up for a fire escape hatch there. We're going to come into the bedroom. Then we're going to turn the light switch on in the bedroom. That turns the 2 lights above the footboard of the bed on. The 2 lights above the headboard of the bed have to be turned on by hand. They have push buttons in the center of them. That has a USB port on either side of the master bedroom in the front and a 110 outlet on either side in the master bedroom in the front. There is also another place for a TV on the wall with a 110 plug-in to plug it into. Park cable hookup or satellite hookup in the master bedroom. And does have another fire escape window in the master bedroom. Red handle pulls loose through there, slides through the bottom of the window frame to open fully up for an escape hatch there. There is a little storage up underneath the mattress. There is 2 drawers on your cabinet on this side and a pretty good sized storage area over there for boxes. It is also prepped with a vent in the bedroom. Narrow knob cranks the vent up, but it does not have a fan in it. And that's basically everything on your trailer. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them the best that I can. There is privacy doors between the master bedroom, and there is privacy doors between the bunk room and the living room area.